Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We are going to wait about 2 minutes to allow everyone to join, but while we're waiting, a couple of housekeeping tips. When you're logging in, please mute your mic, and also please update your name so that we know who is in attendance, especially if you're on your phone. Sometimes it logs you in with your phone number and not your name. We want to make sure that you get credit for being here. You don't need to have your camera turned on. And if you have questions, please use the Q&A because we are going to have a lot of activity in the chat. We don't want your question to be lost in the chat. And then we're also going to record this session. So we'll send you a recording afterwards. That way you can review it in case you feel like maybe you missed something or you want to go over something to email us later. You'll have all the information in front of you. But we'll wait until about 12:02 or 12:03 because we're going to have quite a few people joining us.
Okay, I think we are going to get started. Um, Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for the 2025 Costco Scholars Orientation. We are so happy to celebrate you after months and months of applications, selections, emails, phone calls, and notification of awards that were first maybe a no, and then they became a yes when we received additional funding from Costco. It has been, I have to tell you, it has been an absolute honor to read your applications, your essays, and learn about, your goals, your passions, the determination you have to achieve your academic goals. Today, we hope to provide you with the fine print or the ABCs of your scholarship so that you know how to keep it, how to renew it every year. We are recording this session, and so you can have it as a resource when you have questions or need to refresh your memory. We will also send you a PDF copy of the presentation that we're going to use today. We'll be sending these probably towards the end of the week, beginning of next week. It will depend on how long it takes us to, get the video ready for us to send it to you. So once again, thank you for sharing your stories with us, and congratulations on becoming a Costco Scholar. So first, we would like to introduce your guides for today's orientation, and I'll pass it on to my colleague.
Hi, everyone. Before getting started, I just want to acknowledge that I see that there are multiple hands up. I'm guessing you may not have access to the Q&A for your questions. At the end, we will have time to go over Q&A. So if your hand is up, I promise we will get to you. But to start it off, my name is Carrie, and I'm a program officer here at College Success Foundation. I currently help to support three other scholarship programs that we offer, and I do help to assist Costco scholars as well. Before joining CSF, I worked in college services as a financial aid advisor for many years. So if you have any scholarship questions or financial aid questions, Maria or myself are happy to assist you. And just like you, while going to school, I worked full time, so I understand what it takes to juggle your personal, professional, and academic responsibilities. So if you ever need guidance, please don't hesitate to reach out because we are more than happy to support you. And I'll pass it over to Maria.
Thank you, Carrie. And again, my name is Maria Rebecki, and I'm the Director of Scholarships and Financial Aid Education here at College Success Foundation. Just like Carrie and all of you, I started my education being a part-time student and a full-time employee at a community college. I started my career over 34 years ago in a financial aid office. I didn't think that was going to be my career path, but that's where I ended up after all 3 decades. I know how difficult it can be to juggle school, work, family responsibilities, and other, whatever life throws at us. So as Carrie said, we are here to help you as much as we can. I want to remind you that there are over 2,000 of you, not on the call today. I think that we're expecting around 1,000 of you today, but there is another 1,000 that is receiving the scholarship. So be patient with us if we don't respond right away. Email is always better and faster than phone calls because sometimes you call us. By the time we get to call you back, you may be busy. It may go to voicemail. We may not know what your question is. And so we start playing that phone tag. So emails is always best. If it works for you, it certainly works for us. But remember that we're here to support you and make sure that you get the funding you need to complete your education. So having said that, let me walk you through our agenda for today. So since probably College Success Foundation is new to you, we'll review the mission and then we'll provide you with information about the Costco scholarships, as I mentioned before, and we'll review how to maintain your eligibility for the scholarship and how to renew it. We will discuss how to update information, especially contact information, or if you transfer schools, or if you're not going to be enrolling every term. Lastly, we want to leave time for Q&A because we know that you have a lot of questions. And I want to acknowledge that we may not have time to answer all of the questions, but if we don't answer them today, we'll make sure to send a response when we send the PowerPoint. You can always email us as well. Also, we would like for you to stay for the entire orientation. If you only stay for a short time, we will ask you to watch the recording and complete the makeup assignments that your colleagues are going to be completing if they are unable to attend today's session. So, who is College Success Foundation? Who are we and what we do? So, the goal of our organization, and I don't know if you know this, but College Success Foundation was founded by one of the co-founders of Costco, Mr. Bob Craves, who has passed away in 2014. But him and other individuals realized that there was a huge need in the communities for financial support for students that maybe didn't have access to resources to complete a college education. So he founded College Success Foundation with a huge grant from the Gates Foundation. And here we are 25 years later. So what we do at CSF is that we provide supports, and it's sort of a unique system of supports that includes financial and non-financial support. So coaching, scholarships, right? To help students navigate the college process, applying for financial aid, graduating from college, and everything in between. So today, we hope that you're going to learn a little bit more about your scholarship, how we can best support you to graduate from college and beyond, and we'll provide you with a little bit more information that may be helpful to you. And the goal of the organization is to provide, of course, this support so that you can, graduate from college and, make an impact, not just in your life, but your families and the communities where you live and interact every day. So we are super excited to be able to walk alongside you in this journey. Terry, are you still with us?
I am trying to unmute myself. Thanks,
Oh,
Maria.
no, no problem. No problem.
All right. Um, and to get to the correct slide. So as you all are well aware, Costco has a reputation for being a fantastic employer to work for. And one of the benefits that they offered is in 2021, they launched the scholarship program for all Costco employees. So if you are a full-time employee, a part-time employee, limited part-time, or within the college retention program, you can receive up to $2,500 per academic year for up to 4 years. So applicants do need to be enrolled or planning to enroll in a nonprofit, an accredited college or university to receive funds. Just to let you know, this is a broad overview of the program. We will go in depth within our slides, but we're so happy that you have been awarded and that you're joining us. So congratulations to each of you. And in the next slide, we're going to go a little bit over where everyone is from. So we've got students all over the United States and as far as Puerto Rico. As you can see, it's a diverse landscape that you all are in. You've got Alaska, Hawaii, a lot of the West Coast, right? As Costco is very big here on the West Coast. But I just want to welcome you and thank you for joining us today. And in the next slide, we will go over the basics of maintaining your scholarship. So in order to maintain your scholarship and not be at risk of losing it, we will go over how many years you can have it and how to maintain it. So in case you don't remember everything, please send us an email and you'll also get this in a recording. But you can receive up to $2,500 per academic year for a 2-year, 4-year program. I do understand that some people are pursuing a certificate program as well. All of these educational paths are okay. It just needs to be at an accredited school and it needs to be an accredited program. For example, if you are trying to take a certificate program that might be a continuing education course, that would not be an eligible program. But if you ever have questions, please email us and we're happy to help you and let you know if it is accredited or not. The next thing to remember is um, if you receive your bachelor's before the 4 years is up, you will no longer be eligible for your scholarship. So again, you can receive your scholarship for up to 4 years or until you receive your bachelor's. Um, and then the other thing to remember is that we would encourage you to enroll full-time, but you don't have to be enrolled full-time because we understand that you are working while going to school. So if you don't enroll full-time, your funds are going to be prorated. So for example, if you're at a school that's say on a semester basis, you'd receive $1,250 per semester when enrolled full-time. But let's say you can't take that many credits and you're taking 6 credits. So you can still receive money, but it would be $650 for that term, right? We'll go over that more later with our disbursement schedule, but just wanted to give you a heads up. And then your fees, your tuition and fees will always be paid first. So what that means is we pay from the financial aid office. They pay off any outstanding tuition and fees. And then sometimes there's a little bit of money left over that they will disperse to you to help pay for books, housing, transportation, supplies. So your funds can go towards that as well. But it cannot go towards a graduate degree. And then one more item to remember for the basics in our next slide is stacking aid. So You do not have to fill out FAFSA or your state financial aid application. It's not a requirement, but we highly encourage it because you'll receive your 2,500 up to 2,500 a year, but it might not be enough to cover all of your tuition. But maybe if you have financial aid on top of it, it might be enough to cover all of your tuition fees. So highly encourage you to fill out your FAFSA or state financial aid applications online. The next thing is to please, please, please familiarize yourself with your school's SAP policy, satisfactory academic progress requirements. So that's SAP. Each school's SAP policy is different. For the majority of schools, you need to have a 2.0 GPA or higher, but at some schools it might be a 2.5. If you don't know where to find this information, you'll go to your school's financial aid website and you'll type in SAP in the search bar. It'll come up because if you are not meeting SAP at your school, you cannot have your Costco scholarship. So please, please, please make sure that you are meeting academic standards. The last thing to remember is that you need to be employed by Costco to get your scholarship. So if you're no longer employed by Costco, you're no longer able to receive the aid. You need to be coded as a full-time, part-time, limited part-time, or someone who's in the college retention program in order to receive these funds. So if you ever have questions or something comes up, contact us. We'll help guide you through it. Next, we are going to go over our disbursement schedule.
Thank you, Carrie. So let's talk about the disbursement of your funds. So here on the slide, you can see the dates where when checks are going to be sent to your school. There are some schools, not many, but we have approximately 60 schools that are signing up for electronic funds transfer. So that means that the funds arrive. So we can guarantee that the funds will arrive, and they arrive much quicker than when we are cutting a check and putting it in the mail. I want to thank you all for providing the mailing address of your school so that we can ensure that the check arrives at the right place. But as you can see here, we wanted to make sure that you are aware of when those checks are sent. We cannot send checks before these dates. And we have these dates posted also on the CSF Costco website. So if you ever forget or you lose track of where this PowerPoint is located, you can always go to our website and you can find all this information about your scholarship, but including the disbursement schedule. Something that I want to mention is that sometimes it happens, we're going to cover it in the next slide, I think it is, but sometimes it happens that it takes between 10 to 15 days, business days, for the check to arrive in the mail, for the school to process it and post it to your account. So if you reach out to the financial aid office and they tell you we haven't received the check, please reach out to us so that we can do research. I will tell you that in general, the check is somewhere in the school. But we will do our due diligence to make sure that the check arrived and was cashed by your school. And if it was not, then we may put a stop payment and reissue a new one. But since we're talking about this, let me go to the next slide and tell you a little bit more. So the checks are mailed to the financial aid office for processing, right? Sometimes it's the cashier's office, it bursars, student accounts, each school has a different name. As I mentioned earlier, usually we ask you to give it a 2 weeks processing time minimum, right? And I will tell you that lately, and not just something that I have observed here at work, but personally mailing things lately have taken a lot longer than normally takes, unfortunately. So please give it time. If you're attending any intersessions or summer, because this is your first year, you're not able to use your scholarship to pay for this summer. Summer 2025 cannot be funded, but future summers and any intersessions between December and February, let's say, you need to make a special request. And this special request is just an email. You email us and you let us know, I'm going to be taking this many credits for the intersession that starts on such day or for the summer. Can I please have some funding? And what you need to know about the funding for intersessions and summer is that it's not going to exceed the 2,500 that you are entitled for the year. So that amount will remain the same, only that we are going to split it among, each term that you're enrolled in. So for example, if you're in a semester school and you have fall and spring terms, right? But now you're going to take summer. So the 2,500 is going to be divided in equal amounts for 3 terms rather than just fall and spring. Okay, so I want to make sure you understand that it's not that you're getting more funding. You're going to get the same amount, but divided up among the number of terms that you're going to be enrolled. So I started talking earlier about some of the reasons why your scholarship may not be dispersed or may not be at the school. And here are some reasons, right? So maybe we send a check to your school telling your school, well, this money is for the student that will be taking full-time credit load. And the school sends the check back because you're enrolling, part-time or fewer credits. So that could be one reason. And so there may be a delay between the time we send the check, the school sends it back, and we reissue a new check. Other times happens that you transfer schools and maybe you forgot to let us know, or you let us know after the check has been sent, and so we need to request that check back before we can issue a new one, right? Other times, as Carrie mentioned earlier, you may not be meeting SAP or satisfactory academic progress. And satisfactory academic progress has a series of measures that the school is monitoring while you're in school, and that includes the GPA. In general, the federal rule says that you need to be achieving a minimum 2.0 GPA per every term. Some schools have it, their standard is a little bit higher, so make sure that you get familiar with those standards at your school. Other times it has to do with the number of credits that you were paid for with financial aid, and you have completed and maybe have not completed. So again, important that you get familiar with what are those measures for your school so that you can keep track of them, okay? So the school may return the check and say, this student is not meeting SAP, they don't qualify for the scholarship. And so we are going to hold it until we hear that you're back in good standing. Sometimes you forget to complete the renewal process, and so we do not issue checks when the renewal process has not been completed. Other times we have a wrong mailing address, and this may be at not fault of your own. It may be that the school financial aid office moves around and there is a different mailing address. The check gets lost in the mail. I mean, all of that has happened multiple times a year. Or maybe if you didn't enroll in prior terms, so for example, we send your check for fall, the school returns it in November, letting us know, no, the student didn't enroll. So at that point, we're going to put your next payment on hold until we hear back from you saying, hey, I am going to enroll next term, please send my money. Okay, so these are all the different reasons why your money may not be at your school. And so we're going to place the responsibility on you to communicate with us and let us know what is happening, what your plans are, so that we know how to move forward. And I just said this, I got ahead of myself. But again, if you don't enroll for any particular term that you're required for, right? So summer is not required, intersessions are not required. So this is not going to apply to those terms. But if you don't enroll for fall or winter or spring and you didn't communicate that with us, we will not disperse future funds until we hear from you.
Thanks, Maria. All right. I know that we're talking about SAP and enrollment a lot, but it is really important. And it's kind of one of the things that is a big hang up for not just Costco scholars, but all students. So that's why we really want to make sure that you are getting the full scope of how it impacts you. So first, let's talk about the timeline of your scholarship. As we said, it's for 4 years. Okay. If you don't enroll full-time in school, totally okay. But again, you only receive your scholarship for 4 years. So if you're only enrolling for, say, 3 credits per term, that means you're getting a smaller amount of money. And then you're not being able to use your scholarship to its full potential. So we do encourage you guys to enroll full time each term if possible. And that's because not only does your scholarship fund run out, but financial aid funds run out. With federal and state aid, there's a limit on how many years you can receive it. Same with your scholarship. So take classes that apply to your degree, and try to take as many classes as you are able to take, right? That works with your schedule. Again, your funds will be prorated. So if you're taking 6 credits per term, that means $625 per semester. And as we know, 6 credits is probably going to be more than 625, right? That's why we ask you to stack your aid if possible and to take a little bit more classes so that you can maximize the amount of your scholarship. Um, if you have questions, we recommend that you talk to one of us or your financial aid office before you make any decisions about adding classes or dropping classes, because that means that your financial aid funds and your scholarship funds are going to be different. And we want to make sure that we send you the correct amount of money if you are, say, adding classes, right? Maybe you were planning on taking 6 credits, but now you're going to take 12 credits. We want to make sure that we get you the correct amount of money sent to your school. And then to remain eligible for your financial aid, we want to make sure that you're meeting SAP. As you now know, you can go to your school's website, type in SAP into the search bar. Your school's SAP policy will pop up. You can read all about it, familiarize yourself with it so that you can make sure that you are meeting their guidelines. Now, let's say you are not eligible for your Costco scholarship because you had an extenuating circumstance and grades just plummeted, or you had to withdraw completely, and now you're not meeting SAP. You can fill out an appeal at your financial aid office, and they can reinstate your financial aid. And as Maria said, once your financial aid is reinstated, then your scholarship can be reinstated. And then you can either have the school email us, or you can send us a PDF of the appeal form, and then we can reinstate your scholarship. I also want to note that we have students who need to go through this process, even if they're not receiving financial aid, right? So let's say um, your your income every year is too much to qualify for grants, and all you qualify for is student loans, and you know that you don't want that. You don't have to take them, but you'd have to go through the appeal process with the financial aid office to reinstate your scholarship. So in the next slide, I'm going to talk about the renewal process. So far we've talked about the basics of your scholarship, the timeline of when funds are sent to you and sent to your school. We've talked about how to maintain your scholarship, and now we're going to talk about renewing your scholarship each year. Okay, so in order to keep receiving your funds, you will renew your scholarship, or you'll complete a end of year form. It's available beginning May 1st of each year, and you have about 2 months to complete it. It's the renewal period is from May 1st to June 30th. We do send you a reminder email, so don't worry. We'll send you a reminder email, a link to log in. We'll give you detailed instructions on what to do, so you won't have to worry about that. The email address that we use is the one that you completed your scholarship application with. So whatever email you use to complete your application, that's the email we send notifications to. This year, we've received quite a few students who completed a brand new Costco employee scholarship application instead of the renewal. We want to let you know you don't have to go through all of those steps. The renewal is much more simple. All you need to do is let us know, are you renewing? Are you not renewing? You'll upload your unofficial transcripts. You'll complete a donor thank you note. And within the renewal form, there's a section for students that maybe are graduating, maybe they are no longer working for Costco, or they need to request a deferment because they're going to take a little bit of time off of school. You have all of those options within the renewal form. So no matter what your circumstance is, you'll complete the form so that we can update your record and make sure that we're taking care of you. So in the next slide, we're going to go a little bit more in depth about when you can expect to receive your scholarship funds and how much you can expect to see each academic term.
Yeah, thank you, Carrie. So as we can see on the Q&A, we are getting a lot of questions about disbursements and money and all that. So hopefully this will answer this slide will answer your question. So on the top half of the screen, you can see the schedule of disbursements for semester schools. Okay, so you can see the first disbursement will go out on July 23rd. The second one for spring is going to be November 12th. And then if you are taking summer classes, then it's going to be April 15th. These are the amounts you're going to receive provided that you're enrolled full time. Full time is 12 credits or more. Now, there is quite a few of you that have only one semester left, one term left, fall 2025 before you graduate. You are not able to get the full 2,500 for that one term. You're only going to qualify for the 1,250, okay, if you're enrolled full time. So cannot get the full amount in just one term. The bottom half of the screen gives you information if you're attending a quarter school, quarter-based school, also assuming that you're enrolled full-time, which is 12 credits or more. And the disbursement, again, just like with the other schools, it's going to be July 23rd, November 12th, and February 25th. And if you're taking summer, then it's going to be April 15th, okay, of next year. If do remember that if you're taking part-time classes, which is between 6 and 8 credits, then you're going to receive half of the amount that you see on the screen. And if you're taking fewer than 6 credits, you will get 25% of the amount, but you need to be enrolled at least in 3 credits. Okay, if you're taking just 1 credit, you will not be able to get any financial sorry, you will not be able to get any funding from your scholarship. So 3 credits minimum, and you get 25% of your award. Between 6 and 8 to get half of the award, 12 credits or more to get the full award. Let me talk a little bit more. Well, I was just started talking about it, but now you have the visual of how we adjust or how we prorate your award. So it's 100%, 75%, 50%, and 25%. And you can see how much the award is going to be per term if you're in a semester school versus a quarter school. Okay, so going over an example again, you can see the let's use the 3/4 time. Let's say that you're taking 8 credits or 9 credits, I'm sorry, between 9 and 11, and you're in a semester school. So you're going to receive $937 for that particular term. And if you're in a quarter school, it's going to be $625. So I hope this clarifies a little bit of how the proration happens. I want to mention that some of you are attending Western Governor universities or universities that are clock-based or not really semester or quarter-based. For those, we're going to ask you to let us know in advance when your terms start and end so that we can send the money, adjust the disbursement dates accordingly. Okay, because normally we are on these, we use the same dates for semester and quarter schools, but we recognize that there are some schools that have, a different calendar arrangement, and we want to make sure that we send the money on time for you. Okay, so email us for any specific questions that you may have. Now, what happens if we send the money for full time and you're only enrolled half time? Your school is going to send us the difference, right? In general, most schools send us the difference in dollar amounts back to your account. Some schools, unfortunately, will not process those checks. They will send the whole check back, and we will have to issue a new check or a new payment with the correct number of credits. So that will also be a reason why there may be a delay with your pay, okay, or for you to see the money applied to your account.
Perfect. Okay, a couple more important items to remember throughout the year. Please inform us when you change your address, your phone number, or your email, because again, we send important information via email throughout the year. So if we can't get a hold of you, this will lead to scholarship delays or ineligibility, meaning we send you the renewal email reminder. You forget about the renewal, don't complete it, and then you don't get funds for it for the next year. We don't want to see that happen. So please keep your contact information up to date and let us know if it changes. If you're going to transfer to a different school, please, please, please let us know. That way we can get money to the correct school. Otherwise, we'll keep sending money to your old school, right? Um, and then another thing to remember is that, like Maria mentioned, if you are adjusting your enrollment, please email us and let us know. That way we can make sure that we're sending the correct amount of money to your school and either preventing delays. Like she mentioned, sometimes they withhold funds from you entirely until they've spoken to one of us. They send us the check back because they don't prorate funds there, and then we have to send a new check, right? That can cause a huge delay for you. Or we want to make sure that we send additional funds out if you're registering for more credits. That way you can have as much tuition paid for as possible. But if ever in doubt, please email us. We will get back to you in a timely manner, and we are here to support you. In our next slide, it has our contact information. In the chat, I'm going to drop our email, our general inbox, as well as Maria and my email. So I'm doing that right now in the chat. Copy, paste, take a picture, do whatever you need to do, but that's our contact info. If you ever need help, if you ever have questions, please feel free to contact us. With that being said,
Okay, yeah. So before we close and for the day, but we open up for more Q&A, I want to thank you all for taking the time to attend this event. I know that we are all spread out through the country, and so the time zone sometimes can be confusing. So thank you for taking time out of work to attend. And today really was the goal was to educate you on your scholarship and for you to get your questions answered, or most of your questions answered. So we hope we have accomplished that. Thank you again and have a good rest of your day. I'm going to leave these slide up so that we make sure that you actually take down the scholarship services email address, and we are going to continue addressing any of your questions you have. But if we see the same question many times asked, we're only going to answer it once. And remember, we are recording this session. We'll send you a copy of the recording. We're also going to send you a copy of the PowerPoint we presented today so that you can review it. So we may not answer your questions if we know it's in the recording or in the PowerPoint, okay? So let's see what we have next. If my financial aid covers my entire tuition, can I still receive funds? Yes, you can. If I'm not accepted into my program this year, but reapply and get accepted next year, can I still use the scholarship towards next year? So yes, you are able to defer your scholarship for 1 year. So if for some reason your academic plans change for whatever reason, not getting admitted into the program, life happens and you need to put school on hold, no problem, just let us know, okay, so that we know what's happening and that we can take the appropriate action with your scholarship, okay, and you don't lose it. We can put it on hold for a year. Is there an assignment we need to do now? If you attended the whole session, you do not have to do an assignment, okay? It's only for students that weren't able to attend the whole session or that didn't attend at all. This scholarship is only for undergraduate studies, so you cannot use it for anything beyond your bachelor's degree, okay? So it's not for master's degree, PhD, law school, medical school. It's only for undergraduate studies at an eligible college or university. And that means that the college or university needs to be a nonprofit college or university that is accredited by the appropriate accrediting agency. Okay. So we have been doing a lot of that work on your behalf, making sure that the schools that you entered in your application are accredited and nonprofit.
believe.
If you attended on, oh, sorry, Karen. If you attended only half the orientation, you will have to do the makeup session. Yes, Carrie, sorry.
I believe the people with their hands up may not be able to utilize the Q&A. Would we like to go to those with their hands up and then come back to the Q&A just in case?
Or they can put it on the chat now
Okay,
also.
sure. I'll monitor the chat for that. If they're
Thank you. Yeah. If there is a balance left on the scholarship, is the money sent back to you guys or us? Yeah, the money, something, yeah, I did mention that. No, if for some reason you're not utilizing your whole scholarship, the money comes back to us. And if you are unable to use your full $10,000 scholarship, right? That money goes back to Costco, and then probably that money will go back out to another student that we select or another student that needs the money. The date of birth Costco has for me is incorrect, but my school and application information is correct. Will this be, cause a problem? No, it won't cause a problem. Don't worry. If you defer, if there's still a 4-year cap. This is the thing. You can use funding for up to 4 years, right? You may take 6 years to complete your degree, as long as you're not going to get more money if you attend 6 years. You're always going to be entitled to the $10,000, no matter how long you take. Okay, I hope that answers it. How do you apply for college retention program? You need to contact Costco for that. It's a program that they run. If you leave Costco and you're no longer a Costco employee, you're no longer eligible for the scholarship program. I have 1 year left of college, so the max I can get is 2,500. You are correct. Carrie, do you have any questions before I continue?
A lot of questions in the chat. One person would like to know what type of employment is allowed while receiving the scholarship. For example, work study, off-campus jobs, or gigs like Uber Eats as a college retention person. I mean, if you're working at Costco and you're on the college retention program and you're coded at Costco as being part of the college retention program, we as your scholarship servicer, we're not going to um, reprimand you for having additional funds coming in to help pay your bills. So that doesn't impact your scholarship for us, but you need to make sure that you're still working at Costco while doing those things.
If it's eligible for Costco, it is eligible for us.
Mm-hmm. It says, can I pay my tuition upfront and get reimbursed when the scholarship kicks in? Ask your school. Some schools I've seen, they will say, nope, everything's been paid and they refund everything back to us. So some students will put themselves on a payment plan. And then once the scholarship kicks in, that'll pay for the outstanding tuition and fees, and then you either pay less or then you get reimbursed your own money that you've paid. Let's see.
I'm
Go ahead.
going back to this, sorry, Carrie, I'm going back to this slide because somebody's asking a question of how the funds can be used. And this is something that we covered already. So I'm just putting this slide up so that you can read it. I have 2 years left of schooling. Do I get the rest of the money? No, you only receive the amount that you're entitled per year for as long as you're enrolled in an undergraduate degree.
In regard to funding, if you're not eligible to receive the full $10,000, right? You are eligible to receive up to 2,500 per academic year. We have students in here who are they only have 1 year left of school. And so they're not going to receive $10,000. You'll receive up to 2,500 for the academic year if you're going full time. So I want to make that clear because I see that that's a question that a few people have. If that's not clear, please let us know. Please feel free to raise your hand or type in the chat so that we can clarify for you.
Something that I want to clarify with degrees and programs, if you already have a bachelor's degree, you would only qualify for a certificate to get funding for a certificate. You cannot go and get a second bachelor's degree. We are going to email you the recording and the PowerPoint. And I'm sorry if some of the answers on the Q&A or the chat are super short. Is again, we are having so many questions that I'm trying to get to all of them.
For those that have their hands raised, I see, let's see, it looks like Paige. Let's hover over the name. Paige is number one. Paige, are you able to unmute yourself and ask your question? Actually, I will unmute you, and if not, then we will move on to the next person.
Hi,
Mhm.
can anyone hear me?
I can hear
Yes.
you, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was I was not able to type in the chat. It says chat is only available during the meeting, and I was like, what the heck?
Yeah. What's your
Um,
question?
so kind of in the very beginning of the meeting, you guys briefly mentioned, I think, like another option besides having the funds sent by check to the college? Is there another option besides sending in check? I didn't quite catch that part. If there was another option, a faster option, I think.
Well, only if your school has signed up with CSF to get electronic funds transferred. Not all schools sign up or are able to sign up for electronic funds transfer. So if your
Oh,
school is, it's great. We send them, Carrie actually is the one that sends schools the offer every year, reminding them, hey, this is an option for you. So if your
okay.
school does, then great. If not, it will take a little bit longer.
Okay.
And
I think that's the main concern I had for now. But yeah, I'm not sure why it wasn't letting me use the chat.
Yeah, that's strange. I'm sorry.
all
But
right.
thank you for unmuting me. That I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna ask this.
No worries. If you're all done, I'm gonna mute you and then we'll head to the
Okay.
next person. Any other questions while we have you though?
I don't think so, but I will email if I have any other questions afterwards.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
All right. Next person is Jack, I believe. Let's go. All right. Are you still with us? I've got Jack Ishak. No. Let's go to the Q&A. And oh my goodness. Maria.
Yes, I'm replying.
Okay. I'm gonna go to Wyatt and see if I can unmute you, Wyatt. Oh, actually looks like Tracy now has moved to number 1. Tracy, are you with us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah. How can we help you?
Um, so I'm very excited I got the scholarship, but I just have a question.
Mhm.
Um, the summer of this year, is there a way that it could also be split for the summer of 2025?
Good question. It won't be able to be split for this academic year, this summer.
Okay.
It'll start for next summer, 2026.
Okay, but so it's just only gonna be for the fall.
Fall. And then if you're on a semester basis, it'll be fall and spring, or if it's a
Okay.
quarterly basis for your school, fall, winter, spring.
Okay, I think that was what I was trying to know because I only have like the summer and the fall left.
Oh,
Yes.
I
Okay.
see. So we'll send funds for fall, and then if you're going full time, it'll be $12.50. If not full time, we'll prorate it.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, next person. Looks like William. William, can you hear us? Are you with us? No? Okie dokes. We're gonna go to the next person.
Yes, if you don't have any questions, the presentation is over and you can leave. Sorry, there are so many people asking the same thing. I thought I would just say it out loud.
We've got Christopher Gonzalez. Are you with us, Chris?
Hi.
Hi.
So out of curiosity, for students who, for example, let's say they go to school, not inherently like the amount of credits that they have don't equate to full time, but the amount of tuition definitely is over the amount that is essentially what would have been the full amount of the 12 credit core or 12 credits for the scholarship foundation. Um, would they still receive just the prorated amount, which would be like the 900 and so dollars, or would it be like the full 1250? And how does that work with people who may withdraw from one class if they're unable to attend a different one or, add in another one?
So I want to rephrase it. So let's say you're taking between 9 and 11 credits. You're not taking full time, so you're eligible for 938 for the semester, but your tuition is much more than that. You're wondering if you are eligible to receive more funds to help cover tuition. Is that your question?
Yes.
Unfortunately not. You wouldn't be eligible to receive more funds to cover tuition. It's all based upon credits. Same with Pell Grant. We understand for some students, their tuition is higher because maybe it's a private school or they're attending out of state, so their tuition cost is higher. But we have to go based upon the guidelines of prorate based upon enrollment level only.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Something that sorry, Carrie, to interrupt,
Yeah.
something that I forgot to say, I think, is that we CSF Scholarship Services will be emailing each one of your schools' financial aid office, in many cases also cashier's office, letting them know that this payment for you is going to be sent on July 23rd. So there are many of you saying, hey, my tuition is due before then. What should I do? So the answer is communicate with your financial aid office, right, about this check or this scholarship coming to them on your behalf, but also let them know that an email will be coming from us probably in the beginning of July, letting them know that this money is coming for you. Okay. I hope that helps. Thank you, Karen.
Carolina. or Carolina? You're next. Are you with us?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. How can we help?
Okay, good. Sorry, I couldn't type in the chat room either. Just a general question. If we go on winter leave at work and or are in medical leave, whether it's long-term or short-term leave, does that still include as us being an employee where we can still go to school and get the funds, or will that be cut off once we're on that leave?
Maria, I'm going to defer that to you since you work more closely with the team.
So yeah. So as
Mhm.
long as you're employed with Costco, and we verify employment with them every term, as long as you're still considered an employee, you can still use your scholarship.
Okay, thank you. That answers.
Yeah.
I did have one more, and I did see it off the chat, so I'm kind of stealing off his question. If when they receive the check, and let's say it does cover, all of our classes, and then we have some left over, how do we get that money back? Is that something we would just communicate with the school, or is that, something we can get ahead of?
Yeah, that's a great question. And that is really handled by your school. The school will determine this. I don't want to confuse you all too much, but let me give you a very quick overview of how financial aid offices function. So each school develops a budget, or what it's called technically cost of attendance, which is again a budget for each student for the whole year. That budget includes tuition and fees based on the number of credits you're taking, books and supplies, room and board, transportation, miscellaneous expenses.
Gotcha.
So once you get that number, right, the financial aid office, then their responsibility is to cover as much as possible, or make you enough financial aid offers to cover as much as possible of that budget.
Okay.
If
And then
your costs are all covered, and your financial aid is more than the cost that the school needs to collect from you, they will issue a refund check and give it to you. Some schools issue a check, others they will give you a debit card, but so they will be doing this process of calculating how much you are entitled to have back after they have paid themselves, right? They're going to pay for all of the charges that they are charging you. And then the remaining dollar amount, if any, will go to you to pay for your books, your supplies, your housing, transportation, or whatever other expenses are included in that cost of attendance.
Okay, and that does include if we apply for more than one scholarship, correct? So whatever,
Correct.
All that gets compiled together. Okay, that answers my question.
Correct.
Thank you very much.
Great. You're welcome.
Awesome. We've had some people have issues with connection. If you've been kicked out and you've logged back in, we can see each time you are logged in for how long. So, as long as you're not out for 30 minutes and then logging back in, should be fine. But no worries, guys. Next person that has their hand raised is Nestor. And I'm going to allow the mic. Go ahead if you're there.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much for clarifying all these questions. I have enrolled in 3 classes. In each one of them has 4 credits. The other one 3. The other one 3. So that's 10 total credits. And you said that it has to be 12 credits. So far, these 3 classes amount to $1,700. What happened if I don't, the amount it doesn't cover that? Do I have to pay out of pocket? Because it's not 12, it's 10. So 625 won't cover those 3 classes.
So at 10 credits, you'd be eligible for $938.
Yeah, but the total is 1750 for the 3 classes. So how do I do? What do I have to pay the rest out of pocket?
You'd have to find additional funds to pay for the rest. So that would be through financial aid, other scholarships.
Yeah.
Maria, I can see you have more to add.
No, I don't.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
because
your
you
answer,
want
yeah.
12 credits. So I need to get another
You
one. So
don't,
that's going to be at least $2,000 for those 4 classes.
but at 12 credits, you'd still only qualify for 1250 for the semester. So we don't want you to overcommit yourself to school. We want you to be successful in school, successful at work and personal life. So with your 10 credits being $1,700, and even at maximum amount of credits, if you're enrolled in 12, you would still only receive 1250 for that semester. So no matter what, the scholarship alone won't pay for everything. So
Oh,
I don't know if you've applied for financial aid yet or applied for other
no,
scholarships, but we recommend that you do.
no,
Yeah.
I haven't. It
Okay.
looks like these classes are expensive, so that's why the artificial intelligence classes, so because I was checking the prices and I want to be within the 2,500 a year, but for fall. So that's a situation that I'm gonna have to even find cheaper classes to cover that. Or I mean, that's kind of hard, trying to figure it out the amount that you're sending because it has to be 12 credits total in order for me to get the full amount, right? A year.
Yeah.
1250, yeah, 1250 per semester, 2500 for the year. So if you're enrolled in 12 credits, you're not going to receive 2500. It would be maximum 1250.
Per term. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the recommendation here is that you right away complete the free application for federal student aid, FAFSA,
Uh-huh.
and try to do searches for private scholarships, right? So they don't go necessarily through FAFSA. The FAFSA is a form that sort of unlocks federal and state financial aid. The financial aid office is going to review the results of all the information you plug into the form and determine what type and what amount of financial aid you will qualify. As Carrie mentioned, all these different forms of financial aid, scholarship, grants, loans, work study, tuition waivers, they all stack one on top of each other. So there is a possibility that if you qualify, you may receive multiple sources of financial aid. And this is just, the Costco scholarship is just one of them. Okay, so it's in your best interest right now to apply and to also ask the financial aid office if there are scholarships that maybe the school offers that has a separate scholarship application. And then just do a Google search and you can look on our website, on the CSF website. We have a financial aid hub and there's a section that is on searching for scholarships with some links to vetted resources. And I don't know what the deadlines are, so you may need to go and check and see what's available at this point of the year.
Okay, if for any reason I cannot continue, if there's no, I don't have to pay this back, right? I mean, or you
No,
just have to, and then there's
no,
no,
no
or
penalty.
no
No.
penalty, no. Okay, okay, all
Not
right.
to us. No, not to
No,
us. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And I'm saying this, and this is good information for everybody to know. And I think that actually Carrie alluded to this throughout the presentation. Before you drop any classes you're enrolled in, talk to the financial aid office because depending on when you drop your classes, so when during a term you drop your classes, you may or may not owe money back to the school. So to your point, if you are, I don't know, 3 weeks into the term and you decide to drop and you received financial aid and you were paid financial aid, you may owe money to the school for the financial aid you were paid for the classes you were enrolled and now you're not taking. So before dropping, always, always, always talk to the financial aid office, maybe even talk to your professors. Sometimes you can take an incomplete, and come back and complete that class later so that you don't owe money. Okay, so very important to check in with your school before you drop.
Okay, so it has to be done before the even classes start. I mean, for me to,
It depends. There is, each school has a calendar. Usually within the first week, it's okay. The school gets 100% refund. You don't owe anything. But then after that, there are percentages. I know that if you completed, for example, 60% of the term, you may not need to pay anything back. But again, each school has a different schedule and different calendar. So that's why I'm encouraging all of you to talk to the financial aid office, even maybe the cashiers or student accounts, to find out, if I drop at this point, would I owe any money? And if I do, how much? Okay,
Okay,
before you drop the class. Yeah,
I understand. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
of course, no problem.
Before moving forward, just want to remind you all that right now we're in the Q&A session. We are recording. This will be sent as well as a PowerPoint. If you don't have any questions, you're free to go. However, if you want to stay for the Q&A and learn more, because maybe you have questions that you didn't know that you even had, you are welcome to stay. A few things really quick. People want to know how this impacts their financial aid, right? And if they have financial aid plus their scholarship, how does that work? Your scholarship pays towards tuition and fees first. And then if it doesn't cover the remaining balance, your financial aid will kick in to cover that remaining balance. Then after that, let's say you still have more funds left from your grant money. Let's say you have an extra $500. Well, then your school will send those funds to you. You use those funds to help pay for books, supplies, transportation, whatever you need. So that is how your scholarship impacts your financial aid. It is added to your financial aid package. If you get the scholarship, it doesn't mean that you won't qualify for financial aid. It's just something, an added benefit, right? And then the next thing that I see that keeps coming up is again summer courses and when this starts. For you guys in particular, this is going to start in September, fall 2025. Okay. I'm going to go to the next person that has their hand up. Maria's checking the chat and the Q&A while those with their hands up are getting an opportunity to speak. The next person, it looks like, is Catherine. I'm going to allow your mic. Catherine, are you still with us? Catherine? Okay.
Hi, yes,
Um,
I'm here.
oh, hi.
Sorry about that. Wait, I just have a question.
Mhm.
I previously had an associate's degree and I am starting school all over again. So I'm in the process of taking some prerequisite courses before I join an accelerated BSN program. Am I still eligible for the scholarship?
Yeah, you are, as long as you don't already have a bachelor's degree. So I'm excited. You get to use it for your new program.
I'm excited too. Thank you.
Yeah.
And as far as attendance goes, how is attendance taken? Just so that we know that whether we have to complete the assignment or not.
Yeah, so for those of you that have joined us, we're able to see, once this ends, we're able to see when you logged in, when you logged out. Let's say you had connection issues and it kicked you out a few times, right? We're able to see that and that you've logged back in. And if we can see that you're here the majority of the time, you don't have to do the makeup assignment. If you joined us at, say, 12:45 Pacific Standard Time, you'll be doing a makeup assignment, right? But we're able to see. And that's why we asked everyone to update their names at the beginning, because if you're on here as user unknown, you won't get credit for it. So we're going to send you the recording and ask you to complete the makeup assignment. So it's the reason we ask you to do that is for your benefit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
You're welcome. All right. Next person that we have is Jessica. And I'm going to allow your mic, Jessica, if you're with us.
Again, these funds can only be used for undergraduate degrees. So you cannot use this funding for graduate degrees. And we already covered potential refunds and how you can use that money for other living expenses, including books.
Jessica, is it Van Manen? Are you with us? Okay. Then I go to the, oh, let's try one more time. Are you with us, Jessica? Okay, looks. I'm going to go to the next person. It's Alexis. Alexis, are you able to unmute and join us? Okay. Alexis, if you're not here, I'm going to go to Andy. Andy, are you here?
Yes, ma'am. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you,
Yes.
Andy.
Oh, howdy, howdy. How y'all doing today?
Doing well. How can we help you
Okay.
today?
Real quick. So, I kind of flat. So, I already y'all just answered my question with the uh makeup assignment. I was just trying to make sure I didn't lose my scholarship. So, y'all relieved me with that. So, I don't mind doing that makeup assignment. But my question is, so I'm doing my 12 hours undergrad, and that's gonna give me the 2,500 scholarship for that semester, right? Coming up this fall.
1250, not 2500, because that will be for the full year.
Okay,
So
okay,
for
okay.
fall, it would be 1250 at full time.
Okay, 1250. Yeah, quick question. So I am doing some summer classes actually coming up the 27th of this month, and
Mm-hmm.
that won't cover it until the next summer, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay. I'm just making sure. Real quick, one more question is I'm in my senior year, so I only have 2 semesters left. I was going to ask, is it possible, is there any way that I could what's it called? Is there any with y'all's scholarship program? Is there any master's degree applications that we can apply for as a Costco employee still, or is that not available for us?
Right now, Costco doesn't have a scholarship available for graduate students.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be a matter of looking into other private scholarships.
Okay. Do y'all recommend anything, or would that be an email thing, an email question?
Go ahead and send an email, and I'll send you
Okay.
some vetted links to
Alrighty.
look through.
Alrighty. Thank you so much. That's all
You're
I had.
welcome.
And I really appreciate y'all. Again, will that assignment be posted up today or sometime this week?
What time did you get here, Andy?
I got here pretty late. I got here. I'm in the South, Texas. I got here at like 2:40. It was bad.
Okay.
I had a flat tire, so I had to fix that before I could even join the call.
No worries. So,
So,
once the recording is available, we'll send it either it's going to be later this week or next week. We'll send the recording and the makeup assignment, and you'll have a little bit of time to complete it.
okay, and we just got to stay attentive of the email that we applied with, right? And it'll pop up right there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't pop up next week, and I took a screenshot of the email in front of me right now, I can just send y'all the email and say that I didn't get the makeup assignment, right?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. That's all I
You're
needed. Thank you so much.
welcome. All right. Have a good rest of your day.
Yes, ma'am. You too.
Alrighty. Next person. I'm going to check Jessica one more time because she's still there. Jessica, are you with us? Are you unmuted? Okie dokes. We're going to go to Juan. Juan, let's see if we can get you going. Are you with us, Juan? No? Okay. We're going to go to Benjamin. Benjamin, are you with us?
I am. How's it going?
Doing well. You?
Good. I have a couple questions.
Sure.
First, I kind of came to the meeting like 10, maybe 15 minutes late. Life happens, but I've been in it the whole time. Do I need to make up the assignment or what's the cut, like, what's the cutoff of
Mm,
like, oh, you work on this or like, you're good?
mhm.
Just out of curiosity.
I haven't thought of that.
Yeah, you
Cutoff
have
time,
to have
Mary.
attended the bulk of the presentation.
Okay. So, well, if I join like 10 minutes late, I
You
feel
will
like I've
receive,
returned
you will
credit.
receive the link. Yeah, the link and the makeup assignment. Yeah,
So I missed 10 minutes. Oh, okay.
correct.
But it should be very easy for you to answer the questions.
Gotcha. I just, okay. You just said
Yeah.
if I, okay. Okay. That doesn't make sense, but okay. The other thing is, do you guys, I know this is going to be like probably a no. Do you guys do back pay? I've been an employee for 9 years, and I've been going to school for 3. And I was just told about this last semester. This is going to be my first semester into it, and yeah.
Good question. Unfortunately, Costco does not offer back pay. It's just for from the time that you apply and moving forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
A follow-up question then. I
Mhm.
don't know if you guys are responsible for it, but can you inform like warehouses to inform people that are
So,
going to school? Like
yeah,
I said, I've been at work for 9 years. I've been going to school for 3.
sure.
I've never heard anything for 9 years,
It's
which is
so
crazy.
this program started in 2021, and then Costco is the one responsible for all marketing.
Okay.
Yes. So,
Sounds good.
word of mouth, right, would be great. If you want to speak to your manager about possibly a flyer, right? That would all be done in-house.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Any other questions while I have you?
Not that I can think of, no.
Okay. All right. Thanks for joining us.
Yep.
Okay. Next, I have Victor. I'm going to allow your mic. Victor, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, thank you so
Hi.
much. I'm not sure if Maria answered this question. If so, I'm really sorry. But I wanted to ask about like how do we know if you know what university we're going to? Like I wasn't sure if y'all knew the university like that everyone was going to, or if we have to tell y'all.
So
Well,
when
when
you
you
go ahead. Sorry,
No.
sorry. No. I
It's
was,
okay.
since he said my name, I was,
Yeah.
alert.
I just know you're busy in the chat. Sorry, Maria.
No, it's all right. You go ahead.
Okay. Well, when you fill out your initial application, you tell us what school you're going to. Then when you fill out your acceptance form, you tell us what school you're going to. So we're going to base your school on the acceptance form because we know that there's a couple months gap between the time that you fill out your application and then you accept, right? And then things are
Right.
kind of moving along and then you finalize what school you're going to. So if you're going to a different school than what you put on your acceptance form, please email us. That way we can send funds to the correct school.
Gotcha. I'm pretty sure I put in the school I was going to. I think I just forgot, so I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
But thank you so much for your time and your patience. Y'all have a nice day.
Oh, you too.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Next person is going to be William Wyatt Mund. Let's allow the mic. Are you with us?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can totally hear you.
Okay, great. Last time I was first in line and it failed. So I've all right. My apologies if this question's been partially answered elsewhere, but so my understanding is that this scholarship is up to 10K or 4 years of use, right?
Mhm.
So my question is this: if I take a part-time semester, so under 12 credits, and so I'm given a prorated amount of aid for the semester, then I'm wondering, does that mean I lose 1,200 total from the 10K, or do I lose the prorated amount? So say I take 2 years to graduate, and I take a couple full-time semesters later. Is it treated as if I've taken 1K, 1.2K out of the 10K, or is it I've taken just the prorated amount since it says it doesn't roll over?
I want to make sure I understood. So within one academic year, right, instead of you taking 12 credits for a semester, you take less than 12 credits. Um, let's say you take 10 credits and you receive 938, but then the other semester you take 12 credits and you receive 1250.
Right.
So that $312 that's not being used towards that first semester, you do quote unquote lose it. It means it stays with Costco and then they use it for a future scholar. And that's why we say we encourage you to take a higher number of credits. That way you're not losing money because it can't be rolled over. So you can receive it up to 4 years. And if you don't use 2,500 per academic year, then you're quote unquote losing that money because it's prorated.
Right.
right? You're not able to take full advantage of the funds that are available to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that if, I finished within, say, 2 years, that
Mhm.
probably wouldn't mean I'd hit up against the 10K barrier. I mean, I wouldn't.
Mhm. You
So
wouldn't be able
in
to,
that
yeah.
sense, I wouldn't be losing. It's only okay. Thank you. That answers my
Does
question.
that make sense? Okay, makes sense. Great.
Yes, that
Awesome.
makes
Any
sense.
other questions while I have you? No? Okay. All right. Maria is next. I'm going to hit allow mic. Maria, go ahead if you're here.
Hello, can you
Hi.
hear me? Hi.
I sure can. How can I help you?
So I have a question. I'm currently enrolled at Bellevue University, and right now they ask me to do the Sophia Learning, just so I can like do the subjects or courses faster than
Mhm.
taking it for per semester. Do you know if that's included with the scholarship program? Because I'm paying 100 every month for it.
You called it Sophia Learning?
Yeah,
I haven't
and
heard of Sophia Learning before. Have you,
they
Maria?
No.
Okay, let's
And they
Google.
take credits like online. I do it online. And they ask me to do that just so I can finish it more faster. So I'm not sure
Mm.
if it's covered by Sophia Learning.
Probably
Like
we'll have
scholarship.
to yeah, we'll have to probably review and see if it's an accredited
Mhm.
nonprofit program.
So
I'm
the
going to
Sophia Learning Program, it's within Bellevue University, is that correct?
Yes.
As I'm reading about it, it says that it's like a fast-paced 12-week program. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then, okay, so what I'm going to encourage you to do, because I don't want to put all of your personal business out there, right? Please email us. Let us know the school you're going to. Mention the program that you're taking, that it's a self-paced program, and let us know like the name of your program that you're taking. So we want to make sure it's an accredited program within Bellevue University, because if it is, we
Mm.
can pay for it, right? We
Okay.
we don't want to withhold funds if you're eligible for them.
And then one more question.
Mhm.
Because I'm trying to ask my counselor to change majors, and he told me that sometimes the scholarships doesn't cover specific like majors. I don't know
True.
if that's true.
Yeah, if it's not accredited, then we wouldn't be able to cover it. Like if it's a continuing ed certificate that you're taking, we wouldn't be able to cover that. Right? So if you're changing your major, you can always email us before changing, and uh, in the in that one email that you're going to send us, so let us know at the end, I'm thinking of potentially changing my major to XYZ, and we'll let you know if it's possible to be covered.
Okay, sounds
Yeah.
good.
Okay. Any other questions while we have you?
No, that's it.
Okay, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Okay, next person is going to be Ian. Let me click on allow mic, Ian or Ian, if you're here.
Hello.
Hi, how can I help you?
Hi. So it's only going to take me 2 years to get my bachelor's, but I
Mhm.
was thinking about doing classes during the summer. And
This
I was
summer?
wondering, not this summer, but like the next summer. But
Okay.
I was wondering if I could use some of the money for like the 2 other years, technically or whatever, to cover for that summer, or would it still be 2,500 for that year and the summer?
Yeah, it'll be 2,500 for that year. So I'm guessing your school is semester based. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So instead of receiving 1,250 per semester, you'll receive 833 per semester. So that way it has money to cover summer, fall, and spring.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you'll again want to apply for other scholarships, financial aid. That way you have extra funds to cover the cost of tuition, because as you know, tuition is going to be more than 833 per semester.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
And then another question. So I think Maria already answered this, but if I had extra money, I could use that money towards like gas to transport from work and school and all that.
Yeah, as long as your school sends you the refund amount. We've had some schools that will only pay for tuition and fees and then refund the excess to us.
Okay.
So, the way that it's designed and what we hope is that the school will give you the excess funds to help for gas and supplies, etc.
So would I have to talk to them?
If they don't give you the excess money, yes, please talk to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And then for the renew our scholarship, y'all are gonna send us an email, correct?
Yep. So 1 year from now, we'll bombard you with emails, right? Reminding you to renew.
Perfect.
Let's say worst case scenario, you don't receive our emails because it's going to your junk folder. You can always go on our website and we have a tab within the Costco scholarship area that says renewal/end of year form, and it gives you the instructions on how to renew and log in to your account.
Alrighty.
Okay. Any other questions while I have you?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. All right. Have a good rest of your day.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Okay, 5 more minutes and we'll have to end the session, I'm afraid. I'm sorry.
All right, we're gonna go to Jackson Unverified. Let's see. Jackson, are you with us?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can. Yep.
Awesome. How are you guys doing today?
Doing well. If you
Good.
have you been here the whole session?
I have. It kicked me out. It said I was verified at first, and then it kicked me out, and then I got back in.
Okay. Do me a
Yeah,
favor and email us your first and last name. That way we know that you were here. Okay.
gotcha. And I
Okay.
did it in the chat too, like my
Okay.
store number,
Okay. Then we'll be able to see it. That works too. Thank you.
but I can email you too. It's just at the email that you had on the slide, right?
Yeah.
Okay. My
Thank
question
you.
is this is just kind of everything hypothetical, just with college, career, all that stuff. Let's say you have to quit Costco, but you had 2 semesters left, and you quit Costco, would you still get that next scholarship that was already awarded to you? Because you no,
No, once you're no longer working for Costco, you're no longer eligible for the aid.
right? But so if I quit Costco,
Mm.
but I was awarded the scholarship before I quit,
Like maybe halfway through a semester.
yes,
Yeah, we're not going to ask you to pay us money back, but you would
or
not be
not
eligible
even
to receive future aid.
yes, no, like would I still receive? Like I'm talking about this. I received the scholarship this spring
Mm-hmm.
2025,
Mm-hmm.
and some things have changed, and so I received the scholarship, but I no longer work at Costco now. I would
Mm-hmm.
still receive my scholarship for 2025 fall, right?
No, so okay, you're saying maybe you received aid for last spring. Now you've quit. Will you receive money for fall? Is that your question?
No, I got awarded the scholarship this spring. I
Yeah.
was part of the 2025 applicants.
Right. But if you quit before fall, you don't get your money. So have you
Even if
quit?
the scholarship was awarded.
Yeah.
Yes, because Costco verifies employment, and before we send funds to your school, in fall, we have them run your employment status again. So, we have 1,000 people that have been awarded, but maybe 30 of them have quit before fall starts, and those 30 are no
Uh-huh.
longer eligible. So,
Gotcha.
mhm,
Yes,
mhm.
you did answer my question there then.
Okay. Okay, great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It is 1:30. If we have not gotten to your question, please, please, please email us. We will answer your question via email.
I will say first review the PowerPoint and the recording.
Mhm.
And then if the answer is not in the recording of the PowerPoint, then email us. I'm just worried, Carrie, that we have 1,000 students and we're getting sort of the same questions time and time over, and our ability to respond to every single one via email, just the two of us, it may be a lot. we may not be able to respond
Yeah.
quickly now.
Yeah. And with this being recorded, we want to make sure that we are mindful of everyone's time who's watching the recording. So with that.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone so much. We are going to end the event now. Hope you have a good rest of your week and a good 3-day weekend if you have the weekend off. Thank you so much.